Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you guys are new here. So for today's video, I am doing a full face of Colourpop makeup. That's right, a full face of Colourpop makeup. So you guys want to see how I got this look, what my thoughts are on all these products, and why I picked Colourpop before any other brand, well then definitely keep watching. Okay guys, so I'm sure you guys are asking yourself, Allie, why are you doing a full face of Colourpop when you specifically told us you were going to do a full face of NYX? Let me explain. So we're going to start off, while I explain, with the That's Taupe palette. I actually got to pick this out from Colourpop, and I'll explain in a minute, but I'm going to go into the shade called Python because I just want to do like a really pretty easy look today. So the reason why I'm doing a full face of Colourpop over NYX is because last week I was kind of surprised about it, because you guys know that like it's been a year now since I've been on Colourpop's PR list, right? But I get very few PR. Like it's the weirdest thing. I'm on like the third level of like PR list. Apparently there's like 3 tiers for Colourpop. I'm on the 3rd level, so I'm on the bottom. You just get the scraps. It's what I get. But you know what? I'm still so grateful. I'll take all the scraps. I'll take all the scraps. I'm very grateful for it. So they reached out and they said that, hey, we're celebrating our 9th birthday and we just want you to pick a box of 6 items that you want to celebrate with. And I was like, okay. It's like, why not? I was like, okay, why not try things I've never tried before? So I picked up a foundation, a concealer, this palette, liners, primer, setting powder. Like I wanted to pick up items that I've generally never tried from Colourpop. And then I was like, well, why not do a full face out of it? Now, remind me to tell you a story about them. Oh, you can remind me, but you know. Anyway, so I was like, okay, why not just do a full face? And then I was like, all right, I'm going to do Colourpop. Let me look at NYX. Now, I have gone to Target, CVS, Ulta several times to pick up items for NYX. Every single time the shelves are kind of lackluster. And I'm like, well, what do I really need? Because I have quite a few items from NYX. And I think the one thing that I'm struggling with is an eyeshadow palette, because I really realized I don't like a lot of the NYX eyeshadow palettes. There's something about it that it's just not calling to me. They're not sparking any interest. I'm just like, I don't want to get it just to like get it to do the video. I actually want to get it to try and review. So it's why I haven't done that video yet, because I'm waiting to find an eyeshadow palette. Now, I'm going to keep doing some digging. If you guys have any good NYX eyeshadow palettes you guys want to recommend to me, by all means, I'm completely all ears. Okay. But that's the reason why I haven't done it yet. And I figured I could also do a full face of Makeup Revolution, my most hated brand, because I picked up this bad boy right here because, well, it's a really freaking pretty palette. And then I realized I think I have a setting powder, I have a foundation, I have a concealer, have a palette. Now we just got to move on to like lips and stuff, and we could do a full face Revolution and we could see how much I really hate the brand. So anyway, that is why I have not done a NYX video yet. Not because I don't want to, but because I've been trying really hard to find a pretty palette, and I'm just struggling to find a pretty palette. Speaking of that, y'all, it's been a long weekend. It's been a very long weekend. Actually, on Thursday, I'm gonna film a video where I just do like a get ready with me, because I had something happen to me that I am really embarrassed by. It's very humbling, and it's something I kind of just want to share with you guys, but I'm gonna save that video for Thursday, because that's gonna be like a long like chit chat get ready with me, and we're gonna talk about it. But I had the pleasure of talking to my upstairs neighbors again. First off, we got our lease agreement. We got our lease, and we're not 100% sure we're gonna stay here because they're raising our rent tremendously. But again, that is gonna be saved for Thursday's video, so stay tuned to Thursday, because it's going to be a get ready with me, and it's going to be a get ready with me. Also on Friday, I will be going live on here on my YouTube channel, where I'm going to challenge you guys to pick my makeup once again for the month of June. I have so much fun doing the video, but anyway, so a lot has happened, but we were outside yesterday, and I was sitting on my patio, and I just finished up reading Court of Mist and Fury, which is the second book to the Court of Thorns and Roses, and let me tell you guys, it's so good. So good. So anyway, we're sitting on my balcony, and I was sitting on my patio, and the day before, I'm such a freaking weirdo, y'all. The day before, I saw a moving truck. Okay, I saw a moving truck with our upstairs neighbors, and I was like, oh no. They're moving literally, when I saw that they were, I'm going to go into the shade called Boa. When I saw a moving truck sitting outside their apartment, I went into pure panic mode because I was like, oh dear God, they can't move. Because yes, at times do I hear their dogs barking? Sure. Do I hear them walking around occasionally? Sure. But it's nothing compared to Carla, our old upstairs neighbors, which if you guys have been here on my channel for a bit, you guys have been here, especially in the year 2021, you guys would have seen me talk about Carla like there is no tomorrow. So they have been truly a blessing in disguise since moving in. You know, very sweet upstairs neighbors. That doesn't really ever bother me in the slightest. But I saw a moving truck and I went into panic mode because I was like, oh my gosh, they're gonna leave, and we're trying to decide what to do with our lease. We're trying to decide what we want to do. So I looked at Corey and I was like, if they're leaving, we can't stay. And the reason being is that I went through hell with Carla being our upstairs neighbors. She put me in such a mental hell that like we were going to sue her. We were trying to go through eviction process because how miserable it was living under her and her 5 kids that would run around until 4 a.m. in the morning, and she didn't give a flying fuck about it. You know what I mean? So it was really, really stressful for us. So I was like, oh my gosh, I really can't leave. I can't handle our upstairs neighbors leaving. So it's gonna make me sound crazy. Going back into that first shade, I have cameras all around my apartment. Now, we got these cameras because of Carla, because her brother used to threaten me. In particular, when I was walking the dogs, he'd pull up next to me and threaten me. So we have cameras, and we had cameras installed. I don't know what's going on with my voice lately. My throat has been a little bit sore. So we installed cameras, and oh, that is so light. So light. So we installed cameras, and so I was watching the cameras. Oh God, I'm gonna sound so fucking psychotic. So I was watching the cameras and I was paying attention to when the upstairs neighbor Allison will walk out, because I remember I told you guys how I ran into them and they saw my titties. So I was waiting for them to walk out. Okay, I'm gonna go into the shade called Snake Eyes right here. I was waiting for them to walk out and I happened to see the young girl walk outside with her dogs, and so I immediately ran out there and I was like, Allison, and she turned around. I was like, hi. I was like, I'm so sorry to bother you, but are you guys moving out? And she said, oh no, we're not moving out, it's just my brother, he's moving out. And I was like, oh okay, I'm so sorry to bother you. I was like, I just saw a moving truck and I just wanted to say that you guys have been truly amazing upstairs neighbors, and we've really enjoyed, you know, having you guys above us compared to our old neighbors we used to have. And if you guys were leaving, that was just going to be like something that me and my husband were going to have to discuss. And she's like, yeah, no, as far as I know, we're staying. I haven't talked to my parents. I'm assuming we're renewing the lease. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, I'm so sorry to bother you. You know, if you guys need anything, let me know. You know, once again, my name's Allie. So nice to meet you again. And she was so sweet, so freaking sweet. So then yesterday, oh my God, I am such a freaking weirdo. Corey and I are outside grilling some steaks, and it was going to pour, and I was enjoying finishing up my book, right? Such a pretty, I just want to go for like a very light, neutral eye look today, kind of like cool tone, but that is so pretty. So we were outside, and we happened to see the dad walking along with the 3 dogs, and Corey sees him, and the dad waves, and so Corey waves. I'm gonna get some glitter glue for this next part. So instinct took over, and I was like, hi. And his dogs are barking because his dogs are pretty reactive to people. They're small little dogs. And so his dogs are barking, and he's like, hi. And I was trying to ask him, are you guys planning on staying here? And he's like, what? He couldn't hear me because his dogs are going crazy. I'm going to go into a shade called Slated. And so he's like, I'm going to put my dogs away. So he put his dogs away, and then he came back over, and we started talking, and I asked if he was planning on renewing, and he said yes, they already renewed, they love it here, they don't want to leave. So I was explaining to them about our lease and how much they've raised it by, and we're just having a genuine, honest to God, nice conversation. Such a sweet man. And, you know, when I told him my name, he's like, oh yeah, like my daughter's name. I was like, yeah. I was like, she's so sweet. We talked about, you know, me working at Disney and his son working at Disney, and just like where they're from. You know, they've come from Puerto Rico and they just really love it here. And, you know, we really got to talking, and, you know, we shook hands. I said, if you need anything, let me know. He was the same thing. If you ever need anything, let me know. And I was just like, I could use some of that amazing cooking that I always smell wafting from your apartment. I'm always like, can I have some? As a joke. I meant as a joke. And he was super sweet. And then I had to apologize probably like 500 times in that conversation because I was like, I feel like I'm such a weirdo. And I feel like I'm whispering because like they're like right there, right? I was like, I feel like I'm such a weirdo because I'm out here and I was like, I'm demanding to know whether or not you're renewing your lease. And I explained why. I was asking and I was like, I'm not trying to be a creep. I'm not trying to be a weirdo. It's just that, you know, we really did live under such strain with our old upstairs neighbors. It was pure hell. And, you know, it cost a lot and it was pure hell. And it put a lot of like mental damage on me and it put like strain on my relationship with my husband just because we were fighting all the time because of how bad the noise was. And I was like, I just, you know, I can't thank you guys enough for being just so sweet and so kind and always so considerate. And he was like, you know, so are you guys. And it was a really great conversation and I was really glad to meet him. I feel like the rest of the evening after we shook hands, because it really started to rain, he was super quiet. We were being so quiet. And now when I saw him earlier, when I went to go just check to see if I had any packages outside, he was like waving and I was waving. And I was like, it's so nice to like be friends with like your neighbors, especially your upstairs neighbors. So yeah, and I'll go into more detail about like what's happening with like our lease and us and stuff like that, because it's stressful. I don't want to move, but I have a feeling we might have to, and that just stresses me out. Corey and I are fine, by the way. I think I realized I might have worded that wrong, but it's just very stressful, and it will go along with what happened to me yesterday, that I am just mortified and embarrassed by. But you know what? I'm going to tell you guys because we're friends. So let me just quickly do the other eye off camera and we're going to come back to do a full face, but I want to tell you that story. Okay, so now that the eyes are pretty much on, I just want to do something very neutral, very cool toned, everyday wearing look. I think it's so pretty. This is something you could definitely wear every single day. I think it is gorgeous. This is my first time ever playing with That's Taupe. I remember this came out like, I think like a year ago. I never got it, but I am glad that I have it now. I'll make sure I link it down below for you guys in case you guys want to check out this palette. I'm assuming it's still around, but you never know with these things when it comes to Colourpop. Actually, we'll list everything down below. So moving on to the face. I got the No Filter Primer from Colourpop. This is an oil-free, safe for all skin types. This is a lightweight, skin perfecting primer that creates a smooth and even canvas for flawless makeup that lasts all day. I never heard anything about this. So like I generally don't know how this primer is, but we're gonna try it out. That's what this whole video is about, is trying a full face of Colourpop. So let's take some on our hand. It smells like a little bit like citrus. Now I know that like Colourpop does work with Fourth Ray and Soul Body because like that's their company. But it's their sister companies, but it's really Colourpop. So that's what this kind of reminds me of, is a little bit of Fourth Ray. And I do have Soul Body here because I realized I didn't have a bronzer from Colourpop. So we're just going to go with what still is Colourpop. And I will say this is very smooth. It's very smooth. It doesn't feel like it's silicone. It smells like a citrus orange. It actually smells really nice, but it's not too heavily scented. I wish I could say what the base is for this. The base is water, so it is a water base. Okay, sweet. For foundation, I picked the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Hydrating Foundation. I remember I'd had the tinted moisturizer and it went really bad. I don't think I still have it. No, I did declutter a while ago. So, but I did want to try this. So this is their Hyaluronic Hydrating Foundation. This is a skin loving, skin perfecting. This foundation formulated with hyaluronic acid softens and hydrates to deliver your healthiest looking skin. It's a medium buildable coverage, skin perfecting formula, fresh skin like finish. Ooh. And I got the shade Light 55N. It's very hard to determine shades when picking online. Like it doesn't, like a lot of the, that's why I hate when like buying foundation online sometimes, because like some of them will say like, oh, it's Light 55N. Okay, so I can see it's neutral, but like what kind of undertone? Like, I mean, what kind of like, is it light medium? Is it light? Like what are we working with? So I'm just guessing. I have never ever used this before, so I'm actually really excited to see how I like this. Looks like so. Doesn't really have a smell. And let's try this out. Okay, she might be on the pale side, but this is a gamble that you take when you pick foundation online without really knowing too much about it. Oh. Hi, sisters! So this is a lightweight, medium to medium buildable coverage. I would say this is pretty, like, yeah, I guess I could say it's really pretty. It's really like laying down nicely on the skin. I do like that. I wonder if it oxidizes down though. Like that's something I'm generally really curious about, to see if it oxidizes down. Oh my god, I look like Casper the Friendly Ghost. Anyway, so I told you all that story earlier because I'm fairly certain that my upstairs neighbors probably think that I'm so creepy. And I don't blame them. It's actually a pretty nice foundation. It's laying down really nicely. I don't see it kind of cracking, creasing, or going in any nooks and crannies. It's sitting softly on the skin. It looks nice so far, but it definitely does have a little bit of a shine to it, which I'm not one that really likes that stuff because you guys know I'm very oily. So we're definitely going to see how this wears, but based on first impression, it's actually not bad. So then next I picked up the Pretty Fresh. This is the Hyaluronic Creamy Concealer. This is a full coverage and hydrating. This creamy concealer effortlessly blends into skin, conceal and brightens eyes, corrects the look of imperfections with a natural finish. And I picked up the shade Fair 10N. I struggled picking out concealer shades. I always like to have a bright under eye, but like I never really know like what shade to get. That's one of those things I just always guess at, because I don't ever want to pick the shade that is like literally my skin tone, because then it just kind of blends right in. I like to have a little bit of brightening underneath, but then I feel like sometimes I pick too bright, so it's like one of those guessing games. Like how do you figure out exactly what concealer shade you should get? I just tend to go for like the lighter one because I just know that I like to brighten. But like let me know how you guys pick out your concealer. Speaking of that, speaking of concealers, yesterday I was at Ulta because I was trying to find this particular setting powder, which I did not find, so I'm gonna have to get it online. Where'd my sponge go? So we were at Ulta yesterday, and there was this girl that was, this is one of the reasons why I don't want to work at Ulta, because of this particular reason right here, because I can't stand this pettiness. But this girl walked up to an employee, is like, "Hi, I'm so sorry," and she was holding the Colourpop concealer. She's like, "How do you determine exactly what concealer shade to get for under eyes?" She's like, "I want to brighten a little bit, but I don't want to go too bright. Can you please help me?" And I looked over and I was like, all right, okay, well, cool. This employee is going to help, and I'm going to kind of listen to what she has to say. The employee, she was just kind of stalking shelves. She was like, let me go find someone to help you. And I looked at the girl and I was like, okay. So I happened to walk down the aisle, and she went and found another employee. And she's like, "Some girl over there is asking for help for under eye with concealer. I don't want to help her. Can you just go take care of her? Because I don't feel like dealing with her." And I was like, what the fuck? Like, are you serious? So another girl walked over there and listened to her, and she just kind of went, "Oh, here, just pick out this concealer. It looks like it's going to go well with your skin tone." And the girl's like, okay. And I could tell that she doesn't really know what she's doing. You could tell that she's genuinely trying to find makeup and needed some help. And so I'm watching, because I'm like, at this point, maybe I'm going to step in, because I was like, maybe I can help her, you know, pick out makeup. I am no expert by any means, but at least I can try to help her, like steer her in the right direction if I can. So I was like, I watched, and she's got her concealer, and so I was like, let me go about shopping. For bronzer, I'm going to go in with the Soul Body. This is the Light Face and Body Bronzing Balm. We're just going to try this out. Whether this works or not, I don't know, but I've never used this before. It smells so freaking good, and I want to like get it. I want to try it. So anywho, I went about my day. I continued shopping, and then I was like, all right, cool. I got in to get, and so I get in line to go check out. And I'm literally checking out when I happen to just to look over to my left towards the door, and I see that girl going over to the same employee earlier. I was like, "Hi, I'm so sorry to bother you again, but do you mind helping me pick out a setting powder that's going to work well with these products?" She had Colourpop in her hands. And the employee went, let me go see if I can find someone to help you out. And the girl's like, "I'm so sorry to bother you." And I was like, you have got to be out of your damn mind right now. That is your freaking job. Some girl is trying to spend money. And yeah, you know what? She may not be in the high-end section, but at least she's here trying to spend some sort of money at your freaking business. And this girl cannot be bothered. So I clenched my fist and I went to check out. And then I was going to go, at this point, I was like, I'm going to go find her. I'm going to go find her. So I started to kind of, like, I left to grab my stuff, and I started to kind of go down the aisle to see if I could find her. And thank God, when I rounded the corner by Colourpop, there was a different employee that was down there helping her pick out some setting powders, kind of explaining to her about the setting powders. And this girl was being so nice. And this girl was like, "Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'm so sorry to bother you guys. I know you guys are working. I just was trying to, you know, buy some makeup to try out for the first time." And the girl's like, "Oh, no, it's no worries." So I smiled and I walked away. But literally, I was going to lose my mind. I was going to lose my mind at this one employee who just could not be bothered to leave her freaking section over by a high end to help this girl out. Like, I get that she's, like I said, not spending a lot of money, but who freaking cares? She needs freaking help. And this is why I never wanted to go back to Ulta, because when I used to work at Ulta, I used to work under this one particular female. Couldn't stand her. And one, you had to look a certain way to get hired. You had to have a certain body shape to get hired. You had to come in and wear only the makeup that they had on display. You couldn't wear your own. You had to wear their perfumes. And you had to lie. I was a college student. I could not afford high-end. Simply could not afford high-end. So I literally lived and breathed by drugstore. And you know what? I'm back at it. I love drugstore. I think it's fantastic. I'm actually preferring drugstore over high-end right now, and I think it's absolutely incredible, and there's nothing wrong with that. So first off, I have to say this bronzer is so freaking pretty. Like, what the heck? It's really laying down so nicely in the skin. I'm just going to kind of dab this out right here, but this is so freaking pretty. It's just like melting into the skin, by the way. But I hated working under her because when I used to come in, I would come in and I would already have my makeup done because I thought it was gross using the testers. Sorry, but like, I just think it's gross. So she would yell at me for that. And then she'd be like, well, what are you wearing? I'm like, oh, I'm wearing CoverGirl. I'm wearing this. She's like, okay, no, you're not. You're wearing Too Faced, wearing this. You're going to lie to the consumers. You're going to try to sell them on the high-end products. And I couldn't stand that. I'm going to go in with the Colourpop. This is the no filter setting spray. This is I'm going to go in with Colourpop. This is the no filter setting, loose setting powder. And I have the shade Translucent. We're going to try this out. I've never used this before. So this is definitely going to be a first impression. But she couldn't stand the fact that I refused to lie to consumers. I just couldn't handle it. So she ended up putting me on truck, which would be Monday mornings at 4 a.m. I have to come in and start putting stuff away. And you had to have it done by 10 o'clock in the morning. So unrealistic because there was only 2 girls that was doing truck. The third was the manager who was just there opening the store, not wanting to help out. So we would never get the job done ever because stocking up the whole store by 10 a.m., no freaking way. Just was super impossible. So I ended up quitting because I ended up getting my job over at Disney, but I'll never forget how it was working for that company, and it made me really, really, really dislike Ulta, and I didn't go there for the longest time. I only went there because of my particular hairstylist that worked there at the time. Other than that, I avoided Ulta like the plague because I just couldn't stand how they treated their employees, how this one manager was. Now, granted, she is long gone, so I don't know the standards now, but I still see the girls wearing all black, so that's still something that I'm not sure if that's still like company policy or what, but it was just such a turnoff working at that company. And it's why like I don't want to get a job at like Sephora because I love Sephora so much. But I also heard horrible stories about Sephora, especially during COVID and like how they treated their employees. Okay, so looking at the skin, honestly, like besides the obvious where I'm just a little bit on the paler side, this is looking really nice. Like this is generally looking really freaking nice. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish off the under eye. So to finish off the under eye, we're going to go back into That's Taupe palette. And I'm going to pick the shade called Bedrock. And we're going to lightly buff that underneath our eye today. But anywho, I realized that I had gone off on tangents in this video without ever really intending to. But I really do hope I see you guys this Friday. It was so much fun last time I went live on YouTube. I'm going to challenge you guys once again to do a full face of makeup for me. I originally wanted to do just like a chit chat, get ready with me. But then I realized that going live on Friday is my new makeup release videos, and I will already have my makeup done. Now I could take it off, but I just feel like I had so much fun going live with you guys last time and challenge you guys to pick my makeup. You guys did such a good job. I did a horrible job at executing it. Like that was my fault for being pretty bad at the makeup execution. But it was a lot of fun. So I really hope to see you guys there. I'll be live at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we'll just hang out. We'll just hang out. You guys will help me pick my makeup that you guys will see in a video later on. And there's a very good chance you guys might see your name because I will definitely screen grab it and put it in the video just like I did last time. But it was so much fun seeing you guys there. And I don't know, it's just a great way for us to like connect and like hang out. And it definitely made me feel a little bit less lonely. Now I know it's the Friday before Memorial Day, so people might be busy, but I didn't want to do next Friday because, well, I want to do the video next week. So that's why I picked this Friday. So I figured that's what I could do. I could do like once a month pretty much and do the makeup and like have you guys pick it. I feel like it's just so much fun. And then we could also just hang out. Alrighty, now for blush, I doubt that, and I have quite a few blushes from Colourpop, but this one still holds my heart. It is the Desert Robe. This is the pressed powder. You guys can tell I hit pan. This has been my favorite blush for so freaking long. And I still love this blush. I think it's so freaking pretty. It just like lays down effortlessly on the skin. It just like melts in. It's like a soft peachy pink blush. I just feel like it's so pretty and can complement so many skin tones. And I don't know, there's something about this blush I just absolutely love. It's why I hit pan and I still won't get rid of this blush. So I'm just gonna lay this down. So for highlighter, we're gonna go in with one of my favorite Colourpop highlighters ever. This is the shade Flexterian. This is so freaking beautiful. It's their Super Shock Shadow formula. Just, I mean, like seriously, look at how pretty that is. So freaking pretty. So we're gonna take this and I'm gonna take it on my little brush that I have with bling brushes. This is my F35 brush. We're gonna take it. Now you could apply this with a sponge, but I'm just gonna go in very lightly because it is a super pigmented highlighter. I mean, like very pigmented. I'm just gonna lightly go in because you guys see how much pigment it's laying down. This was one of my favorite highlighters for the longest time with Colourpop because of how freaking beautiful it is. I mean, it is a very glowy highlight. It gets the job done. And I just freaking love it. So to finish off the eyes, I could put on lashes because I do have Colourpop lashes. But instead, I'm actually just going to use my white gel liner from Colourpop and the Level Up mascara. I freaking love this mascara. Now, it's not my holy grail mascara. I do like to mix this with other products. But since we are doing a full face of only Colourpop makeup, I can't mix it. So we're going to just do the best that we can. And this is how the wand looks. This is their shade Level Up in the shade Black. And we're going to start to just coat our lashes with it. Okay, so now that the mascara is on, we're gonna go in with the liner. This is my absolute favorite liner in the whole wide world. I absolutely love the white liner. Out of all the colors that I have, I probably have like over 50, 60 liners from Colourpop because they're so good and they're also so cheap and so affordable. This is by far my absolute favorite. I get the most use out of it, and I always get asked like where I get my white liners from. Colourpop. These are like $8. They break incredibly easily, just so you know, but they're so pigmented and they last you all day. Never have issues with them coming off, especially like if I cry. They still hold on, and I'm just shocked because I'm like, I've had other liners that like don't hold on if I cry. Not this. This is like, we ain't leaving. We ain't leaving.
I'm not fucking leaving.
Okay, so then for lips, I picked up the Lippy Pencil. This is in the shade BFF. I hear this is a really beautiful lip liner color. I've definitely had the experience of, I definitely had the pleasure of trying out Colourpop liners. Oh my God, they're incredible. So I'm so excited to use this one. But I also just realized I made one grave mistake. I recently did a lip declutter. And I decluttered all of my lip products from Colourpop, minus the lip liners, because the lip liners are everything. So we're going to have to just improvise today, but we're gonna make it work. So let me go ahead and film this in. Like I said, this is the liner BFF. This is supposed to be comparable to like the Jaclyn Cosmetics Bourbon lip liner. I wouldn't say it's the same color, but it definitely has a really nice like neutral look to it. Okay, this is a really pretty lip liner. We're just filling that in because I don't have a lipstick or lip gloss from Colourpop because I messed up. Now I could leave it like this, but we're not going to leave it like that because you guys know I can't just not have a glossy lip. So we're going to, you know, we're going to improvise today. So we're going to go into this Colourpop shade. Colourpop. We're just going to pretend it's Colourpop. Shh. And we're just going to quickly gloss our lip. This is so pretty. Oh my gosh. Okay, guys, let me go ahead and zoom you guys out. All right, guys, and this is the final look. So I actually just took a minute to actually calculate what this entire face would cost. And this entire face retails for $122, which truly may seem like a lot, but at the same time, it's not compared to everything high end. Like this would just be not even enough for the one Adept palette that's like $140. Like this to me, like high end would be like 2 palettes, and that's it. For me, I got a full face of makeup that I can use multiple times. So I am so excited. So we're gonna go ahead and just quickly go over everything. Let me give you guys my thoughts. So up first, we do have the No Filter Primer from Colourpop. I honestly don't really have too many thoughts on this. It smells like citrus, so it smells really pleasant. It feels really smoothing on the skin. I don't know the longevity of this. It's not really meant to be for oily skin, so I don't really know how well this is going to be. I'm sure I'm going to get oily throughout the day, but I will say this is really pleasant to put on. I'm going to definitely keep testing this out, but I don't think it's meant for my skin type. Same thing with this foundation. This foundation kind of took me by surprise. It says that it's medium coverage. I find this to be really beautiful coverage. Like, it was so smoothing on the skin. I didn't have any issues. It didn't crack. It didn't lift. It didn't crease. It didn't go any nook and crannies, and it definitely did kind of oxidize down to make a really pretty color. So I'm really enjoying this. I don't think it's going to have longevity though. It's hydrating foundation, so very opposite of what I like. But I'm going to keep playing with this to really kind of give you guys my thoughts at the end of next week to let you guys know what I think. But based on first impressions, it's not bad. It truly is not bad. Then we have this pretty fresh hyaluronic creamy concealer. I definitely like this concealer. It kind of reminds me of the No Filter concealer that came out years ago as like a rival to Kylie Cosmetics, which is so funny because they're both by Seed Beauty. It's just the weirdest thing. But I actually like this concealer. I feel like it was definitely brightening, very full coverage, very hydrating, and I had no issues with this whatsoever. Now this, I feel like, is one of the stars of the show in today's video. I've never tried this cream bronzer before, but first off, I have the shade Light. It smells incredible. It's like a coconut scented sunscreen. Beautiful smell. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Physician Formula. You guys know how good their bronzers smell. This kind of reminds me of that. Incredible smell. Love the way that this applied. It went on so nicely. I did not have any issues blending it whatsoever. Very beautiful formula. This is something I'm definitely going to keep playing with a lot because I really find myself gravitating a lot towards cream bronzers. I love the way they just kind of melt into the skin. I think they're incredible, and this is definitely like one of my new faves from this video. Then we do have the Colourpop Desert Rose blush. Now, it looks like on the website they no longer make this blush. At least I can't find it, which is incredibly sad. But they do have so many other blushes that are very similar to this. This is just a beautiful blush I've had for the last couple of years. I'm never going to get rid of it until it's completely gone because it's just so good. But I love it. Then we do have the Flexterian Super Shock Highlighter. Do I need to say anything? Like, do I need to say anything, y'all? Like, it speaks for itself. It speaks for itself. It's like that scene in The Bridesmaid when she's like, it's Bernays. Then we do have That's Taupe eyeshadow palette. And typically these are one of those eyeshadow palettes I wouldn't necessarily go for. I got this one. I also got the Blush Crush right here as well. But I wanted to go for more of like a neutral everyday eye look. The Blush Crush is super pretty. This one's still available on Colourpop's website. I can't find the other one, but this is how it looks. Very pretty. I'm definitely going to play with this one. But I just find that That's Taupe is just something I'm really kind of gravitating to. I love a cool tone neutral palette. There's something about it that I think is incredibly beautiful. It's beautiful. I love this one. Another star of the show. Then we do the setting powder right here. I feel like the setting powder was really nice. Like, I didn't have anything bad to say about it. It laid down the skin very nicely. It's very smoothing. It definitely blended really nicely with the skin. Don't think it's going to be meant for oily skin, so I definitely think I'm going to break through with this, but I will say I'm going to keep playing with this so I can get another impression of it. Then we do have the Level Up mascara. I really do enjoy this mascara. I'm wearing it by itself. It's really weird for me to wear it by itself because I love to mix this with my I Love Crazy Volume from Essence and my Ophir Cosmetics HD Volumizing Mascara. Both are incredible, but this is really nice. I love how thin this was. This went viral all over the internet a couple months ago, so it says it's currently sold out, but I'm sure I could find it for you guys. But it's really nice. I enjoy this one. You guys know how much I do love the Colourpop White Gel Liner. This is the best thing in the world. I'll never say anything otherwise. And then I really did enjoy the BFF lip liner. I think it's really pretty. I think this is really beautiful base for like a neutral lip. And I feel like so many of you guys would really love this color out there. So overall, guys, I absolutely really enjoyed everything that I tried. There's not one product in here that I was like, don't care about. I really enjoyed everything. And I kind of forget how good Colourpop products can be besides just their eyeshadow palettes. Like, they have some really good base products as well. And it gets me so excited to keep trying more things from this brand because they literally offer us so much. You guys can find it at Target, Ulta, Colourpop's website. They are just expanding. They're growing so fast. And it's just, I love Colourpop. So Colourpop, thank you so much for gifting some of the items that you guys see in today's video. A lot of the other items I provided myself because I had it already, but this was definitely so much fun. I'm sorry that I ranted to you guys, but I just had to tell you guys my story. Stay tuned to Thursday because I literally am going to be I have a video for that. I literally have a story for you guys. And then don't forget, Friday we'll be going live on YouTube where I challenge you guys to pick my makeup. And yeah, I'll make sure I list everything that I'm wearing on my face down below. And like I said, if you guys have any suggestions for the NYX palettes, please let me know. So that is it for today's video, guys. If you guys enjoyed today's video, please make sure you guys give this video a cheeky thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you guys have not already, because I do post 4 to 5 videos every single week. Make sure you guys head over to my other channel. It's R for the Life. You guys get to see my cool, wonderful adventures, my amazing husband, Corey. And as always, the biggest thank you goes to these beautiful, wonderful Patreon members you guys see right here. Thank you guys so much for everything. And to my subscribers and viewers, thank you guys so much for being here. Whether you guys like this video, you guys thumbs down this video, you guys subscribe, you guys did not subscribe, either way, thank you guys so much for being here. I love and appreciate each and every single one of you. So with that said, guys, I love you, and I'll see you guys in my very next video. Bye! A Court of Fury and A Court of Thrones. It was the second book to the Court of Thrones. For concealer, for setting